Hi, I'm Amira Alvarez, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. And today I want to take you through an exercise for how to go from good to great. Okay? We are going to take you through why good, even though it's good, is actually the enemy of great unless you do some very key things to really transform it. So let's get started. So, first of all, why is good the enemy of great? Here's why. Many people, myself included, I'll raise my hand to this, up until very recently, a few years ago, had a stance that it was not okay to complain about their lives. No, we did it in our heads. We do it in our heads. We're a little irritated about this, a little bit resentful about that. Things are not working out. But really, what do we have to complain about? We have a good life. And this is absolutely true. It's not true. And many people will go, oh, this is a first world problem. Oh, I don't have a beautifully appointed, interior designed, apartment or house. Or I don't have the best car, or I don't have the best job. I'm in my career and it's great. It's good. What do I have to complain about? They pay me really well, or they pay me enough, and I should be happy just having the job that I have. Or maybe you run your own business and you're thinking, you know what? I'm doing all right. I made X amount last year and I'm doing all right. I'm doing good, right? And you don't want to complain about it because you don't want to be ungrateful, which is true. You don't want to be ungrateful. But when you say, I am going to be satisfied with good, you limit yourself. You stop going for more, for great. And quite frankly, there's more beyond great. There's the exceptional life. I call them the 3 E's. The exceptional, extraordinary, exquisite life. Where you're all lit up and it's like freaking delightful to be alive and living and doing your work in this world, right? To make your impact. So maybe you're sitting there going, well, it's good. I have good friends. But secretly inside, you want friends that get you. You want those people who are learners, who are growers, who are into personal development, who are entrepreneurs, or the real movers and shakers. Or you have a good relationship. You partner well. You're in it together. But secretly, in your mind, you're thinking, wow, I'd really be loving it if I was having great sex, but I shouldn't complain. Things are good. Okay? So this stance of good enough, is a problem. So how do we deal with it? I want to walk you through an exercise. Okay. So first, you're going to want to write down your list of things that are good in your life. That's pretty straightforward. Just write them all down. Things that are good, but not great. Okay? That's the rub. We're not writing down the freaking fantastic first-class life stuff. Got that nailed. And a little tip on that, you should always be growing. And now the should word is a little bit of a judgy kind of word, but here's the thing. The way to create that exceptional, extraordinary, exquisite work of art life is to never accept what you have as good enough. So even if you've got like some first-class thing, here's the rub. You want to appreciate it. You don't want to dismiss it. You want to appreciate it and be grateful for it while always looking for where you're going next, where you want to set your sights to, okay? And this is not being selfish. This is not being someone who isn't gratified. You can be both, and I'll show you how. Okay, watch this. So, good. What's good in your life? So for me, if you take me back 3 years from now, I had a dining room table that was pretty, and I had dining room chairs that were quirky, but that I loved. and they didn't go together. And I was like, this is good. This is a nice table. These are nice chairs. Good. But inside, I was super irritated that they didn't match. And beyond that I didn't have a beautifully appointed dining room. I had images in my mind of what I actually wanted. And that mismatched stuff was not part of it, let me just tell you. And yet, I didn't want to be ungrateful. So I was like, this is good enough. So your first step is to write down everything that's good enough but not great. So for me, that would be dining room, right? And then, maybe it's something about your income. It's good but not great. Maybe it's something about the kind of impact you're making. You have something inside of you that you want to share with the world and make your impact but in your job or your business, you're not quite doing that. So maybe it's your impact. Maybe it's something like your relationships, whether those are friendships with your girlfriends or your love interest, your partner in life. Is it good but not great? You write that down. And you go through everything, whether it's something specific, like the dining room, or something like more general, income, impact, relationships, health is another big one. So many women are like, at least I'm healthy. But what they really want is a sexy hot body, okay? But they're like, this is good enough. Or I'm 45, this is my 45-year-old body, good enough, right? So maybe it's your body. Whatever it is, you're writing down your list, okay? Next, you are going to write down whether you are secretly saying to yourself, this is something that you're not going to complain about. You're choosing not to complain about it. So you're going to put CNC, choosing not to complain about, which is valuable. Complaining is not a helpful stance in the world, okay? And probably all these things on the good, not great, if you're honest with yourself, you're going to see that they're not solidly good. You're just choosing not to complain about them. So you're going to take each one individually and really think about it. Is this solidly good, or am I just choosing not to complain about it? Okay? We're not saying that choosing not to complain about it is a bad thing. You just want to acknowledge it. Okay? So you're going to put a CNC by all of these things as you go through. Okay? Pretty straightforward then. What's next? Now, you know where you are. Where do you want to be? So we're going to look at what does great look like? So for each one of these things, great is matching chairs and table, highly designed room. That would have been my great years ago if I was actually doing this practice then, okay? What is your great income? Can you claim it? What would be just like amazing, okay? This is one of the things that I really help women see at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit. Whether you are running your own business or you're in the workplace, income is such a big thing. Now, people say all the time, well, money doesn't give you happiness. Well, that's true, that's obvious, but you're using that as an excuse not to go for more. So what's your more? What is this number? And this is one of the things that I am committed to helping you see clearly. Because when you see that clearly and you own it, you will be motivated to get it done. And then I'll show you how to get it done, which is even better, right? You don't want to be like, oh, I want it, but how do I get it? Okay, we're going to walk through all of those steps. So, like, what would actually be great? What would great look like specifically with making your impact? And we want to get specific. I want to impact X number of women. I want to have this kind of like 100,000 women, 1,000,000 women. What is it that you want to do here? Be super clear. That's one of the master skills. And so often people are afraid to claim these things, but you have to do the work. Do the work, claim it. What would be a kick-ass relationship? If you want hot sex, write that down. What is it exactly? Do you want to have orgasms every time you have sex? Do you want to have 5 orgasms every time you have sex? What do you want? Do you want to have crazy sex? Do you want to have more intimate sex? Like, get really clear. Do you want to have more powerful conversations with your life partner? What would that even look like? Get super clear here. What would amazing girlfriends, women friends, community look like? I'm really passionate about that. That's one of the reasons that I've created the environment that I have for my clients, because I know that so many women, smart women, ambitious women, feel alienated because they don't have similar women around them to hang out and talk with, not just to talk biz with, which is fun as well, but that they get their ambition and their drive and what they're up to in this world. So important to have your community. So, health, body, all of that. So you're going to get really clear, okay? That is step 1, step 2. Okay, do that first. Okay, you might want to pause this video and just do that real quick so you don't space out. Okay, now that you have this worked out, you know where you are, and you know at least the first level of where you want to get to. Remember, there's exceptional and extraordinary beyond this, and exquisite, and that is a whole ball of wax that's pretty cool. It's all about mindset and the energy that you bring to creating great, okay? So, and we're going to be, and this is something I love talking about, how to get to that delightful, exquisite life. So, stay tuned. So now what? What is it? You know where you are, you know where you want to be. What stops you? You're smart, you're intelligent, you've gotten clear. What stops you from actually executing on this? Taking the steps. Getting the matching dining room table and chairs, right? Increasing your income, having the best relationship of your life, making the impact that you want to make. Well, generally speaking, it's fear. Fear. Let me put that in big red letters. Fear over all of this, okay? You can't really see that, but I just wrote fear on the board. So fear doesn't necessarily come forward like stage fright. When you're in front of an audience and, oh my God, I'm afraid. It oftentimes comes that way, but most of the time, it is going to come wrapped in an excuse that seems incredibly reasonable. For instance, I can't have the matching chairs and table and the beautifully designed dining room because I don't have the money. Or because my husband doesn't want to spend the money on that. Or my husband and I can't agree on what to choose. Or. Might as well stick with good. Here's the thing. All of that is just your subconscious programming getting you to agree with how to stop. You're not willing to face whatever fear you have. So let's take my husband doesn't have the same taste as me. And so you avoid talking about it, or you get tired of the conflict, and you fear rejection, okay? You won't step forward and into being a clearer communicator, someone who values herself, someone who has higher standards, someone that is certain that she can work it out. Instead, she backs up, plays the victim, blames her husband, and doesn't do anything. All because she's afraid of rejection from her partner, and please substitute wife if you have a wife, I happen to be heterosexual, so I use husband. And know that, there's this fear. Oh my God, I'm going to be rejected. And if I get rejected, I might lose love. And if I lose love, I might lose safety and security. Because as children, we were taught that love equals safety and security, which was true. When we were children, our parents were our means of survival. They created safety and security for us. And we knew that we were going to be safe and secure if that connection was there, if that love was still flowing. And we map that to how we know that we are secure. So, put us in an adult relationship and we haven't done the work on that, we are going to stop, and it's going to look like a perfectly reasonable excuse to stop. Like, it's not worth rocking the boat. Or there's always compromises in relationships. Or, he's right, we shouldn't spend the money on that. Okay? All of that may be true. Or it just might be the reasoning that you're using to stay where you are and not change for fear of facing those bigger fears that are often under the surface, and you don't even know that they're running the show. So you have to unpack that for each of these things and face your fears and move forward towards them, not away from them. And the big excuse that I want to point out, that is such a common one that we've already talked about, but I'm making a full circle loop here in the teaching, is it's good enough. I have a good life. I shouldn't complain. It's a really good life. If you find yourself using those expressions, let that be a light bulb that goes off that says you are stopping. You are retreating. You are using that as a very, as a rationale. You're using that as a rationale not to face your fears and do what's required to step into great. Okay, so a few more things before we wrap up this video. I want to teach you how to move through this. One little extra tip on that. But before we do that, I want to say this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are going to be going into this in so much more detail at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit, which is on November 15th and 16th in Carlsbad, California, which is just minutes outside of San Diego. And super early bird tickets are on sale now only through August 31st, which is just, around the corner. So they're 80% off. They're $197 now off of the full price ticket of $997. So you are saving $800 if you purchase your ticket now. So I would go ahead and do that and figure everything else out later, right? Get yourself there if you are someone who wants more in their life and is tired of coming up with great excuses for herself, okay? I will help you break through. I will help you be someone who creates that extraordinary life that is a work of art, that is exquisite. I want to help you with that. So the summit is the 15th and 16th. We have a champagne reception the evening of the 14th. That's a bonus. Love to have you there. And tickets are $197, and we have a screaming deal on the room rate at the resort. It's a beautiful resort that's at the top of the hill with ocean views, and the room rates are $179, which is killer. So with all that savings, you can put it to, guess what? Maybe it's a drink by the pool, or maybe it's one of these things that you want. So let's go do it together. I want to teach you exactly how to call in great in your life. There's a link below this video, or you can go to the unstoppablewoman.com/summit and purchase your early bird ticket now. Okay, so what are some key things you can do right now to move from good to great? First, super simple, appreciate what you have. Don't be satisfied with it. Don't say that it's good enough, but appreciate it. Be grateful for it. Love it. If you have an assistant who is good but not great, appreciate all the things she's really good at. And she will either step into great or your best assistant will show up. It happens all the time. I know it sounds totally woo, but let me tell you, having been a practitioner of this for a long time, it works. So start with that. Okay, and the second thing that I want to give you after appreciation is visualization. What does great actually look like? Start seeing it. Start seeing it, start feeling it, start playing it out. You want to have a mind movie or a picture or an actual visualization of, let's say, you walking through the dining room, or you sitting at the dining room table and looking around the room and seeing what you see and feeling how you're going to feel when it is great, okay? So feel what it's going to feel to be surrounded by women who get you, okay? Feel how it's going to feel being, I'm going to put a plug here, being at the summit with all these ambitious, driven women who are going for more and standing in their authenticity and working through their stuff and saying, yeah, I'm willing to learn and grow and go from good to great. What is it going to be like to be with your tribe? Okay, so you're going to want to do that. Maybe it's your body. How's it going to feel to wear those sexy clothes or those clothes that make you feel like $1 million? What is that going to do for you and feel like? So start seeing it and feeling it, okay? That's it. Feeling it is a huge component to visualization. Okay, so 2 things there. Appreciation and visualization. Okay, my friends, rock it out. Be unstoppable. I'll see you at the summit. And ask me any questions that you might have. You can find my email below as well. Take care. Bye.